Master.
Hi everyone, Master here with a review of the Cutlass Blue. The Cutlass Blue is a cool law enforcement variant of the Drake Cutlass. Drake created the Cutlass Blue to help improve its image among law-abiding forces, and if it just so happens to be used unlawfully too, well, that's an extra benefit. The Cutlass Blue is 37.5 meters long, 26.5 meters wide, and 11.5 meters high, the same as other Cutlass variants. The Blue has a sleeker cockpit glass that has no struts to block the pilot's vision. It has a pilot seat, co-pilot seat, and a turret gunner. There are plenty of MFDs for the pilot and co-pilot to use. The co-pilot can also fire the missiles and manage power and shields, which means the pilot doesn't have to worry as much about those during combat. If and when tractor beams come online, then the co-pilot might manage that too. The living quarters still contain 2 beds, storage lockers, and gun racks like the regular Cutlass Black. The storage lockers hold 500K micro-SCU storage, plus there's internal stowage of 12,000K micro-SCU. The interior design is more sleek and professional compared to the Black though. The middle and rear section of the Blue is different from the Black. The middle section has 2 sets of holding cells on either side for holding prisoners, although they don't function at the moment. CIG still needs to implement bounty capturing and how to handle prisoners. It looks like you'll be able to rotate the cells to access each prisoner. There are docking ports on both sides of the center section, although right now the docking ports don't work. They don't even open, although they used to. I'm sure CIG will fix this up once they get ship-to-ship docking fixed up for all ships, but that could be a while. The docking ports mean you can connect to other ships or stations directly without having to land. This is also useful when boarding enemy ships to capture prisoners without needing to EVA. Behind this section is a small cargo area with its own airlock doors. This cargo area can hold 12 FCU of cargo compared to 46 SCU on the Black. You can also carry small ground vehicles in this section, such as the Grey Cat PTV and STV, as well as the Drake Mule and small hover vehicles like the Hover Quad. You can technically fit a Tumbril Cyclone in this rear section, but anyone driving it won't be able to get out of the vehicle to get into the ship, since the tires block it all. Sadly, you cannot fit any larger vehicles like the Ursa or Lynx or any of the big armored vehicles, but that applies to the regular Cutlass Black as well. The Cutlass Blue has a single size 2 shield and decent armor for a medium-sized ship. There are 2 size 1 hydrogen fuel tanks, 1 size 1 quantum fuel tank, and a size 2 quantum drive. The Blue has 2,500 liters of quantum fuel, so it can travel very far before needing to refuel the drive. Hydrogen fuel is decent at 360,000 liters. The Blue has more powerful engines though, so it can travel at 198 meters a second in combat speed and 1300 meters a second in max speed, which is quite a bit faster than the Cutlass Black. It also has 2 large VTOL engines to help takeoff and landing in tight spaces or on heavy gravity. The Cutlass Blue has the same size and quantity of weaponry as the Cutlass Black. It has 4 size 3 weapon hardpoints on the wings that come by default with gimbals for size 2 guns. It has 2 size 2 Scorpion ballistic Gatlings and 2 size 2 distortion repeaters on the wings. The gimbals help hit fast targets since the Cutlass series is not very quick in turning compared to fighters. There is a manned turret up top with 2 size 3 laser repeaters. These guns have large capacitors and are critical to keeping the Cutlass Blue safe in combat against more agile opponents. The turret capacitors will still have power to fire even when the main gun capacitors run dry. There are tractor beam mounts on the front under the vertical wing panels, but we'll have to see if CIG makes them function in the Cutlass Blue. They do not currently function yet. The Cutlass Blue also comes with 6 size 4 missile hardpoints. By default, they come with size 2 missile launchers with 4 size 2 missiles each for a total of 24 size 2 missiles. You can change the missile launchers to hold anywhere from 8 size 1 missiles each to a single size 4 missile each. So you could have 48 size 1 missiles, or 6 size 4 missiles, or any combination in between. That is an impressive possible loadout, and 24 size 2 missiles is more than most fighters carry anyway. Most importantly, the Cutlass Blue comes with a quantum enforcement device that's built into the ship, which has a quantum dampener. The quantum dampener will prevent any ship from engaging their quantum drive within 2,000 meters of the Cutlass Blue. The Cutlass Blue does not have a quantum snare though, so it can't pull ships out of quantum travel. It only prevents them from leaving. The quantum dampener creates a lot of heat, so the Cutlass Blue won't be hiding anywhere when the device is running. That is why the device is off by default and you have to turn it on manually from the ship panel buttons. The good thing is that it works immediately, so you don't have to let it warm up first. The Cutlass Blue runs for $175 in time-limited sales, mostly when Drake ships go on sale, such as Invictus or IAE. You can also buy the ship in-game for 2.5 million UEC at Lorville. The ship is not currently rentable. The Cutlass Blue comes with a blue and gray paint scheme, but you can buy other paints for the ship. Plus, it can use almost any other paints that the Cutlass ships have. For limited paints, there is the Best in Show 2949 paint with white and purple, but it was limited only to the IAE 2949 event, so it's no longer viable. The 2950 Best in Show paint is white and gray and also limited only to the IAE 2950 Best in Show event, so it's also no longer available. There is the Silver and Teal Foundation Festival paint, which is only available during the Foundation Festival event every year, such as the one that just ended. The Ghoulish Green paint is a metallic green paint, only available during the Day of the Vara event each year. Sadly, the Pirate paint is not available for the Cutlass Blue. On the website, you can buy certain paints at any time. There's the gray and red Coal Fire paint, the beige camouflage Cypress paint, the black and gray camouflage Hawthorn paint, the white and gray Mistwalker paint, and the dark green Saurian paint. The Cutlass Blue is a great variant of the Cutlass series. The price of the Cutlass Blue is not very high for a multi-crew ship with heavy firepower. It's faster than the other variants, but has firepower to match the Cutlass Black. It is very useful for bounty hunters and law enforcement to catch criminals. You can use the QED devices to grab targets and prevent them from leaving. The faster speed of this variant, plus the distortion cannons, can ensure your target will be caught quickly. Pirates can benefit from the Cutlass Blue to kidnap targets for ransom, or to help catch ships with valuable cargo. Military forces can use the Blue in combat operations to prevent enemy ships from leaving the area, or to board enemy ships. The large number of guns and missiles means the Cutlass Blue is great as a medium gunship or a missile boat to blast ground installations or turrets. Plus, it is great for clearing landing zones for troop transports. The sleek cockpit windows means you have much better visibility around you than other Cutlass variants. Plus, it looks pretty cool. The Cutlass Blue is also very versatile in combat. The missiles on the Blue can be upgraded to size 4 missiles, and the guns changed to fixed size 3 guns, so you can take out larger and slower targets like large cargo vessels. Or the missiles can be changed to 48 size 1 missiles, and the guns changed to gimbal laser weapons to swarm smaller fighters with many missiles and guns. For hit and run attacks, using the default ballistic and distortion guns are great, as they do a lot of damage quickly and can take out shields and ship components. There are some drawbacks to watch for. Always make sure you have someone manning the upper turret when fighting against more agile ships like fighters, or else have fighter escort. The Cutlass Blue is fast but can't turn as quickly as smaller ships, so more nimble ships can get behind or below the Blue and cause you a lot of trouble. The Blue is also not as useful for cargo, salvage, or exploration because of the smaller cargo bay and vehicle bay, but it can work to a smaller degree. The higher engine speed means the Cutlass Blue can function for racing operations, but it's not extremely maneuverable, which is a problem when turning the tight turns that you find in racetracks. Like other Cutlass ships, it's not a small ship, so landing in tight spots can be difficult, plus the lack of maneuverability is a limitation. The single medium shield can be a liability in combat compared to some heavy fighters like the Vanguard with 2 medium shields. There is some armor, but it won't hold out very long. Also, there are no seats for passengers like the Cutlass Black or Steel, so you can't carry much of a crew for ground missions unless you want to store them in the prisoner pods, which is unlikely. The lights on the Cutlass Blue also stand out in the dark a lot. You will never be able to hide in the dark with those flashing blue and red lights, and there's no way right now to turn on just the headlights without the other lights turning on too. So landing in the dark is dangerous in places with potential enemies. There's also no bathroom in the Cutlass Blue, so players will have to land at outposts or stations in the future, unless CIG adds a bathroom. There's also no medical bed like the Cutlass Red variant, so you won't be able to heal up teammates if combat goes bad. Also remember that like all other Cutlass variants, if you lose one engine, then your ship will be nearly uncontrollable, because you'll spin around in a circle unless you go into VTOL mode. Flying in VTOL mode will reduce your forward and backward acceleration, but at least your ship will fly in a straight line. Ships in combat against a Cutlass Blue should aim for the engines, and it'll prevent the ship from flying forward unless the pilot knows about switching to VTOL mode. The default guns are also limited in the types of combat they are used for. The ballistic guns run out of ammo very quickly, so you'll have to stop and rearm often. This prevents you from engaging in long duration combat. The distortion guns can bring down shields or components very well, but don't do as much raw damage as other guns. So my recommendation is to replace them with laser repeaters for regular combat, unless you need to take down a target quickly or you need to disable a target. The Cutlass Blue is a good ship for what it's designed for, but it does still need some work. It's still missing functional prisoner pods and docking ports, plus it needs a gold pass too. There are older features on the ship that need updating, like the lack of a bathroom, lack of tractor beams, and some of the interior ship space is still set up oddly. If you understand those limitations, then the Cutlass Blue is a great value to get, plus it looks cool too. Alright, so that's it for the review of the Drake Cutlass Blue. Please like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video. You can use my referral code if you decide to jump in as Star Citizen, and you'll get a 5,000 extra in-game credits. Here's a big thank you to my current patrons. I have a Patreon going for $3 a month and a YouTube membership for $4.99. All patrons and members will have their names listed at the end of my videos and get access to our Discord channel too. Patrons and members also have a first pick on the next item I'll cover, so feel free to sign up and let me know what you'd like to see next. Okay, catch you all next time.